I'm in the mountains on my own, don't need nobody else. That's my favorite song. So, here's a thought. So on, I think it was Wednesday, the 4th of May, 2020, Josh had an appointment with the dentist, and then right after that, like back-to-back appointments, I thought he was going to have to go to school that day, but it was kind of a procedure where, anyway, let me just get into it. So, we get there, fast forward to the Kaiser place, so get to the psychologist's office, and he was like, how are you doing with your depression? How are you doing with your anxiety? And I'm like, very good. Doing very, very well. But when I was talking about what was on my mind, I should have told him, because I tend to just get straight into it, and there's just so much traffic today. So it's really windy, and look at, it's about to rain. Oh my goodness. I'm just walking down the street. But anyway, to make a long story short, sometimes I just like get straight right into it. And, sometimes I just get straight right into it, and I don't like say like this is what triggered me, but I think he understands that you know, that something that is on my mind, that I told him this is not on my mind every single week of my life, but I was just remembering, and maybe I just discovered after we had our psychologist meeting, or my Melinda's psychologist meeting, that I came to the conclusion that, you know, it's okay that I left out that. I mean, it would have helped because it would have, like, you know, sounded more like I knew what I was talking about, but at the same time, it's okay to the psychologist, so whatever's on your mind, you can speak of it. But anyway, sorry I sound like a broken record. To make a long story short, again, what I'm trying to get at is that I'm glad that I explained, like, all of this that I remember. I asked them questions like, is it weird that I remembered from age 2 to 3 years old? I'm not quite sure if I was 2 or 3, but I know it was in that age range. And I was about 2 or 3, and I remember it was a routine for my mom to, it was like an everyday thing where I only remember 2 weeks of being a toddler. So this was an everyday thing where she would, like, it's hard to say, but I just want to spit it out already. It's nothing like the most horrible thing, but it's still like, I guess it could, my doctor explained that it's like it's traumatizing. So basically, I was sat down for cereal, happy about, I'm eating breakfast cereal, age 2. What are 2-year-olds happy about? Breakfast, right? I remembered, and it was something like Lucky Charms or cereal or Cheerios, and I can remember what my bowl looked like. What was on the TV, which was Mr. Rogers, and sweet guy and everything, but I was just like, how lame. Like, I felt older than I was. Like, I was just like, this is like my 1000th time. I even spoke up, because I never speak up, and I spoke up to my mom, and I was like, Mom, are we going to watch Mr. Rogers again? And mind you, I didn't even say anything about Mr. Rogers at my meeting, so I wish I would have, because this doctor, he's moving to New York, New Hampshire, or something like that. So he's moving very far away, and he was like the sweetest guy I've ever met in my life. So anyway, so he is moving far away, and it's really sad. But at the same time, I'm glad I got to see him just to say goodbye, because it was our second meetup, the last goodbye. So anyway, I, on my own, when I got home, I'm thinking, okay, well, my mom did, maybe because I rented that movie because I thought it was interesting that as soon as I seen that at the Red Box, I was like, oh my God, how weird. Like, my mom had me watch this like 5,000 times. I don't know if in one day, I don't remember, but I remembered speaking up one day, and I said, Mom, I really don't want to watch that. Why do I have to watch that? I don't want to watch Mr. Rogers. And she told me, you love Mr. Rogers. So it's basically like forcing a child to love something that they don't, and this happened throughout my whole life. Like, maybe almost like 95% of my life was like, I'm supposed to love something that's not like physical activity, and I love physical activity, and like, she wanted me to do the opposite all the time. Like, Girl Scouts, we did talk her into, like, because I had 3 older stepsisters, so it was like, yeah, take us to concerts like once every couple years, and yeah, like, let us be cheerleaders, and let us do our own stuff. We don't want to do Girl Scouts. Even though I was forced to be in that as well. So yeah, my main purpose of this video, I think, is just to remind myself to be brave and to be strong. It's getting really windy, huh? Just to be brave and strong and know what's right in life, and that maybe this experience is making me a better mom and a good mom at that. I mean, I love the way I parent, but everybody can see their improvements from years ago, and but this is the thing, like, I have to be really careful with what I say and do, because you never know what sticks with kids. And like, my psychologist is saying, like, oh yeah, if it was a traumatic experience, it'll stick with you. Like, hey, my baby brother was maybe like 6 or 7 months old, and instead of like entertaining me by letting me like just to see him or touch his hands or something, it's almost as like my parents like purposely didn't want me or my siblings to be close. I have a brother who's 28. I'm 30. And my oldest and only oldest brother is 32. So I'm the middle child, but then the 3 stepsisters were off and on with us for 3 years, not with us for 3 years. So it was kind of like that type of deal. Of course, it was like normal yelling and fighting and getting along and not getting along, and we loved each other, we hated each other. So. But anyway, I better go because it's windy, very windy. But I hope you guys get out of this what I did, and it's just like trying to get a little bit of a closure type of thing. Like, okay, maybe my mom was just tired and stressed, and now I'm thinking like it all makes sense now. Like every time, I don't mention this all the time. Like I only mention this like once a year, but I kind of bring it up like, oh, I remember, but I don't tell her the specifics because I don't. Or sorry, I said that wrong. I don't specify, I guess. Sorry, I don't know I don't specify. Like, hey, this is what I remember. I just say like, hey, I remember a little bit, and then like my mom looks like she's in shock. But yeah, I don't really try to talk to her that much now because I learned my lesson 1,000 times the hard way. Do love her with all my heart, but then again, you know. So, yeah, that was. No, the main thing that I told my psychologist was that I kind of sometimes can't stop thinking about how when I was 2 years old and then the cereal was sitting there for about 5 or 6 hours and then I couldn't get up. I know that for sure I wasn't uncomfortable because maybe I went to the restroom before and after being stuck there in the high chair. But I was stuck there in the high chair, and if I wasn't in a high chair, I think I had just had heavy pillows on me, and I had the cereal on my lap, and then I would just stare at the cereal, and then if I needed her like 6 hours later, because I was just like, maybe I was in shock every time, I'd be like, Mom, I knew it was wrong. So, thank you. Yes. Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. Some people creep me out. Like, why did she need to laugh? I was just trying to get my exercise. I did want to come in because it's warmer in here. But people just creep me out. They're like laughing and like judging and stuff. Like, I feel like Tammy right now. I feel judged when she says stuff like I was judged AF. Anyway, I love the beach. Love the beach. I'm gonna make a scrapbook or something. Anyway. Alright. Everybody take care and be nice.